Hi, everybody. This is Deborah Furstenberg, and I am the founder and the organizer of Doggy Noses and Yoga Poses. We are an organization that exists to benefit animal rescue groups by doing unique yoga classes. And today I want to thank Kathryn Sutter, who is the founder of Kathryn Sutter Yoga. She will be leading today's class for us. And joining us for this flow is Two Hearts Animal Rescue. They are located in Northwest New Jersey and will be streaming their puppy cams live. I just want to thank all of you for being here today. For those of you who are moms or caretakers of any kind, thank you for what you do, and happy Mother's Day. I hope you're enjoying your day. And just again, so you know a little bit about who we are not affiliated with any one rescue. We are not affiliated with any venues, and we are not a yoga studio. We simply put together all the pieces to create a class like this one, where we're able to raise money for and awareness about various animal rescue groups. And you notice behind me, that's our rescue girl. We have a rescue Siberian Husky. She's 5 years old, and her name is Kaya. Anyway, but thanks to people like you who have purchased tickets to our events over the last 2.5 years, we've donated approximately $100,000 to different animal rescue groups. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your support. I'm going to bring on Kathryn. And once again, thank you, Kathryn, for being here and for leading today's class. If you enjoyed today's class, please feel free to follow Kathryn Sutter Yoga on Facebook and on Instagram. Kathryn does teach at the Alementary Brewing Company in Hackensack, New Jersey. And I want to thank the Alementary as well for participating in today's class and making available a complimentary 4-pack or 6-pack of their beer to those who purchased the Alementary ticket. So Kathryn, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'm going to bring those cute puppies up on screen with us as well. Thank you so much, and namaste.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Kathryn. I'm going to be leading your yoga class today. As Deborah said, I do teach yoga up at the Alementary in Hackensack. When we're open, we teach on Sundays. I teach with another fellow yogi named Kurt. We rotate our weeks, so please feel free to come join us and check us out. I also recently adopted one of our rescue pups that we've had from the rescue coming to join us at other times at the Alementary. He may make appearances now and then. His name is Cinder. Currently, he's sleeping in front of me unamused. So yeah, let's get started. So we're going to start in a comfortable seat. You can have your legs crossed, or you can sit in a hero's pose. You can sit any way that works for you. I have a block underneath my sits bones. If you have a block, awesome, grab a block. We're getting creative since we're at home. You can grab a couple of books. If you have children in school, those textbooks that have been sitting there and collecting some dust, because I know as a teacher myself, I have textbooks at home that I haven't been using quite regularly. So just prop yourself up, get comfortable. Hands can come to your knees, your thighs, and you're just going to close your eyes and begin to connect. We're going to connect with our breath, really filling up our belly, our ribs, and our chest. And then we'll exhale, reverse, allowing our chest to soften, our ribs to knit back together, and our belly to soften. You want to try to take your inhales through your nose as you fill it up again. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, and then exhale, chest, ribs, belly. We'll do it again. I'm not going to lead you through it. Taking your own inhale, filling everything up. And releasing it all. One more, fill it all the way up. And when you think you're full, take an additional little sip. Hold it. And let it go slowly. We'll begin our practice by bringing our hands to a prayer. Allowing our eyes to stay closed, we'll just gently bow our head and set an intention for our practice, whether it's to just have a little happiness by seeing the puppies running around on the other camera, whether it's trying to follow me through a yoga practice, or it's both, or it's just honoring yourself and where you are right now. Anything and everything is perfect as long as it's for you. So let's get started. We're going to release our hands, lifting our gaze, gently opening our eyes. I'm going to be doing the yoga practice with you. I'll be talking you through it. My mat is long ways on your screen, so sometimes I will turn to try to help so you can see what I'm saying. I have my blocks. I have 2 blocks and I have a strap. If you don't have a strap available, you can grab a belt or string or anything creative that you have in the house. Feel free. Right now, we're going to get started in a tabletop position. And in your tabletop, you want to check in that your fingers are splayed and pressing down firmly into your mat. Your toes are in the mat as well, nice and relaxed, and your back isn't dipping. You have a nice tabletop as if somebody came over and placed a nice tray of a refreshing beverage. You want to make sure it doesn't fall. On your inhale, we're going to take a couple cat-cows. So we're going to tuck those toes, release your belly, kiss those shoulder blades together as you lift your gaze for a cow. And exhale, reverse it all. Release those toes, dome your back up, and allow your gaze to come in for that cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And as you move through, maybe you add in a little bit more movement. Maybe you add in a little bit of a hip sway. Maybe you kick it out to the right, kick it out to the left, just seeing where you're feeling a little tight this afternoon, this morning. We're going to come to our stillness here. We're going to work on our wrists, taking your fingers, turning them to the outer edges of your mat, and just beginning to lean left and right, just gentle rocking, opening up those wrists, taking a little second here to stretch something we may not think about stretching often, but now that we're all home and we're all using our computers all the time, our wrists and our hands can use a little extra love. If you're like, hey, this isn't too bad, I could use a little bit more, you're going to turn your fingers to face your legs. If you get here and you're like, no, that's not for me, just come back to where we were before with your fingers facing out to the side. So now I'm just adding in a gentle forward and back rock. Really small, controlled movement. Doesn't need a lot to actually do the job. And on your next inhale, bringing your hands towards the front again, maybe taking it a second to roll them out. Putting your palm down on the ground, that alternate stretch. Your palm, the top of your hand on the ground, sorry. And then we'll come back to our stillness in our tabletop. From here, you're going to lift your right leg, reach it to the back of the room. Reach it nice and long, cross it over that left foot. Looking over that shoulder, make a connection with your right foot behind you. You should feel a nice side stretch through your right body, and maybe even a little bit of a hip stretch in the left side. If it's too much, bring your foot back closer to your left foot, and if you have more room, bring it up higher. Yoga is all about you, so anything I say is always a suggestion. You can follow it to the best of your ability. You can challenge yourself, or you can pull back a little bit. And then if you're really like, no, this pose isn't for me, just drop into a child's pose. Come back when you're ready. On your next inhale, lift that right foot back up, reaching long behind you. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, left leg reaches long. Exhale, cross it over the right. Press it down. Gaze looks over the right. Checking in, finding that spot between stretch and pain. Don't go too far, but don't just, hang out that you feel nothing. The point is to open up our bodies and find that looseness that we might not have right now. And inhale, lifting it up and placing it back down. So I'm going to come to a hero's pose, just walking my knees in. From here, I'm going to tuck my toes. Already, this may be enough for you. For me, this is a terrible pose. For my fiance, he loves this pose and can sit in it all day. I'm going to grab my blocks because I know I can't sit back on my toes very easily. I can't even make that connection with my sits bones to my heels. So they're going to help me sit here for a breath. And from here, I'm going to come back up, bring my hands behind me, really kiss those shoulder blades together as I connect my fingers, pulling them back, opening my chest, and then sitting back down. Adding a little bit of movement to allow you to forget about that intense stretch in your foot for a minute. So from here, I'm going to untuck my toes. I'm going to turn away from you for a second so you can see what I'm saying to do. I could sit back here, or you can tuck your toes back under if you'd like. I'm going to take my right hand, bend that elbow, pull my left hand over as if I'm trying to hug my hip. And then I'm going to allow my neck to come down to the right, my right ear to my right shoulder. Really getting that nice stretch through the left side. The right arm can have some activeness in it, or it can sit still. So we'll inhale back to the center. And bring our right hand over to the left hip this time. Lowering down onto our left shoulder. You might notice one side is tighter than the other. Might not have as much space. That's okay. Honor each side of your body. And releasing that, we're going to come back to our tabletop position. I'm going to tuck my toes and come on up to my first downward facing dog. Taking a breath here to pedal them up. Taking some movement. Moving my hips one way and the other. And then very gently, just take a little walk, small baby steps to the front of your mat. When you get to the front of your mat, you're going to have a good deep knee bend so your chest sits on your thighs. Your arms are going to connect at the elbows, hands take hold, and just sit and be a little rag doll, leaning your weight forward into your toes, trying not to sit back too far. And as you feel ready, you can start to straighten those legs a little bit, adding some more movement, maybe taking a knee bend as you sway. Releasing those hands, walking back to your downward facing dog. And do a couple of rounds of a sun salutation. So we'll inhale, lift our right leg up high, reach it long. Exhale, step it through, plant it between your hands, low runner's lunge. From here, lower down your left foot. You can keep that foot tucked or untucked. As you inhale, lift up and sink into your crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, fold back down. Lift that left knee. Hello, puppy. Step it forward. Once again, forward fold. Taking that movement, allowing yourself to sway. Inhale, nice flat back, keeping a connection with your shins, a block, or the ground. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, sweeping their arms up and overhead. Reaching high, gentle back bend. And exhale, sinking all the way back to your mat. Hands touch your mat, knees bend deep. Right leg steps back, runner's lunge. Left leg steps back, plank pose. On your exhale, lowering all the way down to your belly. As you untuck those toes, bring your hands out wide from your mat, elbows up high, and inhale, peel yourself up in the head, chest, and neck. Baby cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Bringing your hands back in, tuck your toes, up and back, downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift that left leg up high, reaching long, finding your space, finding your length. Exhale, dome your back as you step through. Low runner's lunge. Exhale, lower that right knee. Inhale, arms come up. Sink forward into your crescent lunge. Exhale, fold back down, plant your hands, lift that right knee, step it forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend those knees as you sweep yourself up to the top. Gentle back bend. Catch that prayer, folding all the way back down. Hello, Pep. You're in my way. On your inhale, step your left foot back. Excuse me. Here in your low runner's lunge. Step your right foot back. Here in your front toes. Exhale, lower all the way down. One more time, hands will come out wide. Inhale, peel on up. Exhale, fold back down. Hands come in, toes tuck, lifting up. Hello. As you inhale, lift that right leg up, bend your knee, open that hip. Give me kisses. Thank you. Exhale, step it through. Plant it down between your hands, low runner's lunge. Really charge up that back leg nice and strong. Keep that deep knee bend as you lift up, high runner's lunge. Hands will come to a prayer. We're going to twist towards the right, hooking our right arm outside our left arm outside our right leg. You can stay here. You can open your hands, whatever's in your practice. As you exhale, frame that front foot, straighten that right knee, hop your left foot mid-mat. You're already in the next pose. We can grab our blocks or keep your hands on the ground as you inhale, lift. Nice flat back to adjust. Exhale, fold for your pyramid pose. Feet are on the ground, legs are straight. They're as if they're on two different tire tracks, two train tracks. If you don't need your blocks, your hands can come right to the ground. And on your next inhale, you're going to bend that front knee. Step your left all the way back, low runner's lunge. Step your right back, plank pose. If you have a chaturanga in your practice, you're going to take it here. So you'll lower down halfway, flip those feet, press up, and send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Really quick, if that's not for you, you can still lower all the way down, peel up, and downward facing dog. Or you can lower your knees, chest and chin, keep that butt up in the air, and then slide through like a little snake into your baby cobra, and then up and back. Any or all, or skip. Your choice. Inhale that left leg up high, bend that knee, open your hip. Exhale, step it through, low runner's lunge. Using your muscles, engaging that core as you sweep up, high runner's lunge. From here, hands come to a prayer. We twist to our left, hook that elbow outside. You can stay here, or you can open up. That's not really in my practice. In fact, turning the side is not. So I'm going to use a block. As you exhale, frame that front foot. We're coming into our pyramid pose as we straighten that front leg, bend the left, hop it mid-mat. Don't take my block, buddy. You're in the way. Once again, you can lift up. Take that little adjustment if you need it. Exhale, fold back down. You feel a nice deep hamstring stretch. As you bend that front knee, step your right back mid-mat, low runner's lunge. Step your left and take your flow. For me today, it's going to be lowering all the way down. Baby cobra. And then downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lifting that right leg up high. Stepping it through. We're going to turn to face the middle of our mat. Wide-legged fold. Hands can make the connection with the ground. Oops. Or with a block. Whatever you need. For me, my practice, I can make it to the ground, so my head will be on the ground. Hands are on the ground as well, rooting down. I'm under attack. That's cool. As you inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold back down. It's just like class, Deborah. There's a puppy attacking. As you inhale, lift up. You're going to walk on over. Fingers of your right hand will attach to your left ankle, and you'll peel open into a twist. Oh, jeez. As you exhale, come back to center. You're supposed to be behaving then. You're supposed to show them how good you are. Coming back down to the middle. Walking on over to the right with your left hand. Can I have my left hand back? Thanks. Peeling open. Having your hair eaten to get you deeper into the stretch. As you exhale, lower back down. That was my skull. Can we stop? As we walk around the crazy puppy. Coming back to the front. Heel will come to the back of the mat. Hands will come to the front. And we'll just come up and back to a downward facing dog. We're going to come into our next sequence. On your inhale, lifting that right leg up high. Stepping it through. Bending it down. Turning your left heel down. Toes will face about 10 o'clock with your left foot. As you inhale up to your warrior one, keep that deep knee bend. Check in with your hips, turn them to the front of the room. Once you have that, inhale, arms up overhead. And on your next exhale, we're just going to sweep open. Left hand comes down to the back. Toes turn to the outside. Arms at a T, looking over your right fingers. Warrior two. Remember to breathe, connecting with your breath. Inhale, flip your front hand, reach it forward, send it up and back. Your lower half stays exactly where it is as your front half gets long. Exhale, forearm to your right thigh, left arm overhead, reaching to the front. We're going to come into triangle. You're going to straighten that front leg. Arm will come off. You're in a nice bend right here. Grabbing your block, coming down, lifting up. Don't have a block, make a connection with your ankle or with the ground or with your shin, whatever you can do. On your next exhale, you're going to come back down. And you're going to step that right foot back, plank pose. Lowering down to your belly. Coming up through your chaturanga or upward facing dog or puppy wrestle. Geez Louise. And then to your downward facing dog. You know, I introduced you because you are a rescue, but you're not showing off your best side right now. You are crazy today. From here, we're going to step our left foot forward. We're going to walk to the outside of our mat again. Wide leg pull. I'm going to turn towards you so my butt's not in your face, but you can stay the direction you were. And exhale, forward fold again. Wide-legged fold. We're going to inhale, lift all the way up to a stand. Arms are going to come up to above our heads. We're going to be a star, 5 points, our head, our hands, and our feet. And exhale, we're going to sit into a squat. Goddess arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit. And on your next one, you'll forward fold back down. Walking to the front of your mat. Stepping back into your plank pose. We're already here. And taking your flow. We'll meet in your downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, lift that left leg up high, reach it long. Exhale, step it through, plant it between your hands. Right heel comes down, toes are at 2. Inhale, lift. Check in with that hip, turn it to the front. You're in your warrior 1. You're going to sweep that right arm down. As you do that, your right toes turn. Left knee stays exactly where it is with that deep bend. And then your arms come to a T. Flip that front hand. Inhale, reach it forward. Up and back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, right left forearm to the left thigh. An arm comes up overhead. As we come to our triangle pose, straightening that left leg. Left arm releases and lowers down. Grabbing your block, lifting up and open. Exhale, fold back down. Coming back to our low run lunge. Stepping your left back and taking your flow. On your next inhale, walking your feet slowly to the front, taking that journey. Going to turn to face you. We're now forward fold. Our feet are close together. And in your exhale, you're going to begin to lift those heels as you sit down into your squat. Coming up with your hands to a prayer. Finding your balance. On your exhale, planting your hands, coming up into your forward fold. And then coming all the way up to a stand, arms up overhead again. As you take your left hand and grab onto your right wrist, lift it up high, And lean over towards the left. Nice side body stretch. Nice standing banana pose for those of you that know yin. Coming back up, we'll switch our hands. Lift and lean. Coming back up again. You're facing the front of your mat. You're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time, taking a gentle journey down, planting your hands, and walking back to your downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, we're going to lift that right leg up high, bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, step it through. Coming up into that high lunge. Stepping your left forward as well. And exhale, sit into your chair. As you sit down, you're going to have a puppy come to your butt. That's cool. Do you mind? Sit into your chair. Hands can stay at a prayer. They can come to your hips. They can come up overhead. Or you could take a break to pet puppy. Coming up out of your chair. Arms up. And sit back down into your chair one more time. If you want to challenge, this time see if you can come up onto your toes. As you exhale, straighten and fold. From here, I'm going to bend my knees. You can step. I'm going to hop. Back to chaturanga, lifting up. And downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up high. Step it forward. Reaches between your feet. High runner's lunge. Stepping your right to meet your left. Exhale, sit into your chair. Inhale, lift. Take a second, shake it out if you need to. Exhale, sit back into your chair and see if you can lift this time. Lifting up those heels, balancing, and then a little bit deeper. Before we forward fold. Now in your forward fold, we're going to stay here. We're going to lift our right foot, cross it over our left, and then you're going to walk your hands to the left, seeing if you get a really good IT band stretch, or cross walk them over to the right, whichever side works for you. For me, it's coming to the right. And just hang out here. Coming back to center, unraveling, taking a second to shake it out, lifting that left, crossing it over the right, walking to the right, checking it out, walking to the left, checking it out. Wherever you find a really good stretch along the side of your leg, down the back to your heel. Hang out there. As always, if you don't make a connection with the ground, grab a block. As we come around, you're at the front of your mat. You're going to walk your feet back And wind up in your downward facing dog. Exhale, lower down your knees, untuck your toes, and sink into your child's pose. Okay, take a couple of breaths here, just relaxing and unwinding. If you need some water, feel free to grab some water. We're going to take a really gentle stretch from here. We're going to stay in the child's pose, just lifting your head, taking your right arm and threading it through past your left knee and your left leg, left arm. Your right hand is going to reach up to the front. If your right hand is available, you're going to leave it exactly where it is. Your left hand reaches up to the front, and then it comes up behind you and wraps around your right hip. Just getting a nice shoulder stretch here as we're laying and resting, also allowing ourselves to unwind a little bit. You're going to bring that left hand back to the front. Right arm comes out. This time, the left arm comes through. We look over to the right. Right arm is above, or it comes behind to your left hip. I promise my puppy is usually much better behaved than this. He's had a case of the sillies today. I think it's the rain. I'm going to unwind, get my hand back out of the puppy's mouth again. Come back up to my tabletop. And I'm going to tuck my toes and come on up to my downward facing dog. On your next breath, let's walk to the front again. This time, I'm going to turn towards you again. Your feet are going to come wide, about as wide as your mat. Toes are wider than your heels as you sit down into your yogi squat. If that's not for you, grab a block on any height and sit down onto your block as you lift your head. Elbows will connect with the inside of your thighs, and your hands will come to prayer as you press open. You have to go now. Go somewhere else. Where could you go? That's a good place. Go that way. As you exhale, plant your hands. Come on up to a stand. You're in a wide foot facing the front of your mat, keeping them wide. Just forward fold, taking that gentle rock left, that gentle rock right. We're going to heel toe those feet in. I'm going to face you. Let's roll on up. My left foot, my heel comes off the ground. Hands come to my hips. So I find a focal point, something to focus on. So I lift that left knee up in front of me. Balancing, bringing that left hand down, opening up, and making a connection with my right thigh for tree pose. Maybe it's here today on the ground. Maybe it's on your calf. Or maybe you do have the space to bring it all the way up. Whatever you have, whenever you find your balance, inhale, lift your arms up, grow the branches of your tree. As you bring your hands back to your hips, left leg releases, comes out in front. The long standing series. See if you can stay with me. Take that yogi toe walk, those 2 fingers. Connect with your left foot. Whoop. I lost it. Lift it up. And see how far forward you can reach. This is as far as I can go today. Maybe you can straighten your leg. On your exhale, we're going to tip it forward into warrior 3. Or standing split. Good boy. Good boy getting a toy. From your standing split, just lower your left leg to the back of your mat. Bring your right to meet and come on up to your downward facing dog. We'll just walk your toes in an inch and roll right on over to your upward facing dog. Hips up and back to that downward facing dog. Once again, we're going to walk to that front, taking that journey. I'm going to turn towards you. This time we are rooting down into our left foot as we roll up, our right heel lifts. Hands come to our thigh, hips. Finding our strength in our left leg, getting our focal point. Taking a breath as you inhale, lift. And exhale, open to your tree. Time I'm going to plant a little lower as I inhale my arms up overhead. Hands will come down to your hips, lifting up, yogi toe lock. I might bend my left leg a little bit to make that connection with the right. Lift back up. I'm going to stay here, or you can open, whatever's in your practice. As you exhale, releasing your hands and tipping forward to your warrior 3. Your warrior 3 is on one leg. Your standing split allows your hands to come down and help hold you. Lower down your right leg, walk your left back, and take your flow. From here, we're going to come down to our knees, crossing our ankles, and just sit back. We're in a comfortable seat, an easy seat. I'm going to grab my block. For some of you, if you don't have a really good bend or forward fold, you could sit on your block. If you have more space available, you might use your block to help with the stretch. Our legs are going to come long. We're going to inhale, lift, exhale, fold. So my feet are flexed. I can reach past my feet and make that connection with my block. If that's not available to you, you can use your strap around your feet to help you make a connection. I threw my strap out because someone was eating it before. So just remember that was what I was thinking. And as you sit here, connect with your breath. Your inhale lifts, your exhale folds. Your inhale lifts, your exhale folds. And then finding your stillness. And slowly walking your hands back, coming up to sit in your Dandasana, your staff pose. Hands are next to your hips, shoulders roll back and down. Gaze is lifted, standing, sitting in your strength. This is like your mountain pose when you're standing. This is your strong sit. Things are still engaged, still working. It's not a rest, it's still active. And from here, we're going to come lay down on our backs. As you lay down, you're going to bend your knees and plant your heels, taking that second to see if you can get your fingers to your heels, making that little connection, that little tickle. Arms will root down firmly into your mat as you press down into your heels and your whole foot, lifting your hips up into a bridge pose. You're in the way. And then exhale, lower down. We're going to take this again. If it's not a pose that you prefer to take again and again, grab your block, lift up, and just place it at your sacrum, your low back, and just allow yourself to rest in a restorative bridge pose. Just as beneficial, allows your body to open. If you're ready for your active bridge, this time press down firmly again. Inhale, lift up, and roll your shoulders underneath. Make that connection with your hands, and see if you can lift up a little higher. One more breath. And exhale, release your hands and lower down slowly. Taking a second here to windshield wiper. So for our final choice, if you have wheel in your practice, feel free to set up for wheel. That's going to be bringing your hands alongside your ears with your fingers facing your shoulders. I do not have wheel in my practice. I'm going to come into a restorative bridge. If you want to grab your block or your books, go for it. If you want to take one more active bridge, that's also your choice. Everybody's going to ready and prepare. And inhale, lift up into whatever version you're taking. Those of you that are in wheel, whenever you're ready to come down, you're going to tuck your chin before you come down to make sure you come out safely without hitting your head. Lowering down slow and controlled. Those of you that are in a restorative, see what it feels like to straighten your legs. Does that feel good or does that not feel good? If it doesn't, then it doesn't serve you. Don't stay there. If it makes a connection with another part that you were like, it feels interesting. Like I have a really good stretch in my right hip right now. Stay here and hang out. If you're in wheel, please come back down. If you have your legs straight, bend them back. Everybody's going to remove their block from underneath, lowering down, windshield wiping, releasing our low back. As you bring your legs long on your mat, we're going to come into fish pose. So as I lift up, my hands are going to come underneath me at my low back into a diamond shape, right at my sacrum, right where that block was. Elbows are out wide as you see. They press down, help lift me up as I lift and lower the crown of my head to my mat. My chest stays puffed up, my elbows are connected, and I'm looking behind me. You can stay here, opening your throat, or if you want some core, engage it and lift those legs. On your next inhale, press down, lift, lower, and release your hands. We're going to come to our plow pose. So that's a little bit active. You're going to bend your knees, and you're going to start to rock and roll, getting some of that momentum into your practice. Your legs will come up and over, coming to the ground behind you. Hands will come to your low back as support. Elbows stay down on the ground. You can come on up to a shoulder stand if you have that in your practice. Your hands have to be here now for support. Or you feel free to stay and plow. Play around. Have a couple breaths. You can even bend your knees. wherever you want to be. That's your choice. I'm going to come out for a second, but you can keep playing. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. So if you're in a shoulder stand, you're going to lower back down to that plow, feet behind your head, engaging your core, very slowly, mindfully lowering your legs back down to the front, taking a breath there, allowing yourself to unwind and settle. And then we'll come on up to a sit. And your feet are going to stay planted on the mat, knees are bent, hands will come behind. This is not my preferred pose. It's very hard for me as my shoulders are tight. So I'm going to grab blocks. If it's not hard for you to open your shoulders that way, you don't have to. Have blocks behind you. You can make that connection with the ground. So feet are down. Inhale, lift up into your tabletop. Exhale, lower. Next one, walk your legs out long. I'm going to flip my hands as I inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. From here, we're going to come into a couple of gentle stretches. I'm going to face you. You're going to bring your knees wide, feet together. Hands will come to the balls of your feet, peeling them open. Inhale, lift, and exhale, fold. Just like I said before, every inhale can lift you up. Every exhale can fold you a little bit deeper. As we come up to a sit, we're going to bring our legs a little bit wider, keeping them connected. Can you get that? As you bring your hands as if you're a waitress, put them underneath your legs and send them forward, peeling them through, lowering down. You can see I can fold a lot deeper when my legs are further apart. You might find that you have more spaces too. As you come back up to a sit, bringing your hands out. Right leg is going to come long, left leg is going to bend. Arms will lift up. We'll turn towards that lengthened leg, and we'll exhale and fold. You can stay here, or you can take that right hand down to the ground alongside your right leg, taking your left hand up and twisting open. Again, the option wanted you to turn it on silent, please. As we walk ourselves up, we're going to bring our hands behind us, and we're going to lift up into a stargazer. So I'm going to roll up onto that left leg, arms up overhead, right arm overhead, left hand down. And then exhale, come back to that sit. Left leg comes out, right leg comes in. Inhale, lift your arms, turn towards your left, and exhale, fold. Again, if you want, you're going to lower down your left arm. Begin to turn your torso, peel it to the side as your right arm comes up. Or stay in this twist. Stay in this nice side stretch. Whatever works for you. As we begin to walk our hands, right hand will walk behind, posting behind your right hip. Left arm sweeps up as you're lifted to the stargazer. And exhale, coming back down to a sit. We're going to come lay down on our mats again. Knees will be bent. I'm just going to lift my hips, send them over to the right gently as I lower down my knees to the left. Arms can come to a T. Gaze will come over to the right. If you want a little bit more, that right leg can cross over and tuck under. Your left hand can even add a little bit more pressure to help that stretch, to deepen it. And then we'll slowly unravel ourselves, coming back to our start, which is our knees bent. Taking a breath here. Feet are planted. Lifting your hips, sending them over to the left a couple of inches. As you exhale, release your legs to the right. Gaze comes to the left. You can stay here. You can twist. Bring that right hand to help deepen that stretch. Adding a little more. As you release your hand, bringing your knees back up, planting those feet. We're going to take a happy baby. If you have any other pose that you're looking for in your practice right now, we're about to head into our Shavasana because we're just about done. So if there's anything you want, take it now. Happy baby. Hands come to the outside edges. Knees stay bent. Back stays connected with the ground. And you can rock left and right gently. Straighten one leg. Straighten the other. If you want to do both, it's your practice. And then once you're ready, you're going to come into your Shavasana. Your Shavasana is your final resting pose. You want to make sure that you're comfy. Want to grab a blanket? You want to grab some socks or a sweatshirt? Go for it. If you have a pillow nearby, you could throw it underneath your knees. I'm just going to lay here with my hands out wide, my feet relaxed and splayed. My eyes will close. My mat will just take care of me right now. And allow yourself to soften and settle, to really melt. And while you lay in the Shavasana, your final resting pose, you can have an eye open on the puppies if you'd like. But if you're going to keep your eyes closed, you want to just try to think also on allowing those thoughts to drift by. Getting some white fluffy clouds and allowing whatever thought pops in to go onto a cloud and float on by. Now's not the time. Now's for you. You can remember to relax your jaw. Your teeth don't need to be clenched. Your lips don't even need to be closed. Everything's soft and gumby and melty. As you stay in your Shavasana and continue to lay there, maybe you think about taking a full body scan, starting down at your toes, and checking in if there's any tension, releasing it, coming up into your feet. Same idea, sending some extra love and releasing it there to your thighs. Kind of skipped over our calves and our shins. We'll do those at the same time. Any spot that just feels tight on you, sending a little extra love and a little extra release into those hips where we hold a lot of what's going on. A lot of this heavy world around us right now might be making us feel a little off-centered. It's okay. You have this practice. Up into your belly, into your gut where we might feel a lot also. Just sending that love and releasing it out as you come to your heart. Same story. Saying, I got you. We're here. I'll take care of you. You'll take care of me. Up into those shoulders that sometimes creep up so high we don't have necks anymore. Letting them go, releasing them. Through our arms, out into our fingers. Our fingers are probably working overtime right now with all that typing and connection we have to do through our computers. Just giving them a little extra praise, a little extra thank you for doing your job for me. We'll come back to our neck, to our throat, to our voice. Where right now it's so easy to feel like we can't be heard because the world is in such disarray. No, your voice is here. There's always someone listening. And then finally up into your face, into the crown, into your crown chakra, your diva, your queen, your king, your power. Enjoy that power that you have and send it out into the world. We'll begin to leave our Shavasana, gently wiggling your fingers and toes, allowing your head to look left and right also. As you bend your knees and give yourself a big hug, thanking yourself for your practice today. Rolling over to the side of your choice, taking a full inhale like we did at the beginning, and a full exhale, letting it go. Pressing back up into your comfortable seat where I'll meet you. Hands will come to a prayer. And we'll close our eyes and bow our head one more time. Thanking ourselves for our practice, taking this time. Thanking Deborah for putting this together. Thanking all those cute puppies running around on the other screen and my crazy puppy running around on my screen. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Kathryn, and thank you so much to Two Hearts Animal Rescue. It looks like this group of puppies has Shavasana down pat. They look very relaxed. Again, I want to thank everybody who's been participating today. You definitely helped us get closer to going over that $100,000 donation mark, and that's absolutely amazing. We can't do it without you. Again, if you enjoyed Kathryn's class, she leads a terrific class. Please look her up on Kathryn Sutter Yoga on Facebook, and take a few classes with her at the Elementary once the Elementary is able to accommodate people. I want to thank the Elementary as well for offering their beer for today, and certainly want to thank Two Hearts Animal Rescue for sharing their adorable puppies with us. And for anybody who is interested in adopting, in fostering, or in volunteering, please reach out to Two Hearts Animal Rescue. They're located, they're a foster-based rescue, but they're centered around Hackettstown, New Jersey, which is in Northwest Jersey. So thank you all so much for coming today, and namaste.